Tonight, we're diving into one of the most incredible naval duels of the Second World War. This is the story of the hunt, the trap, and the final, absolutely fateful moments of the German battleship Scharnhorst. It's a battle that would decide the fate of the Arctic convoys, and it all plays out against the brutal, unforgiving backdrop of a polar storm. Okay, so try to picture this. It is Christmas night, 1943, and you're in the freezing, pitch-black Arctic. The German battleship Scharnhorst, one of the fastest ships in their entire navy, is slicing through these monstrous waves. On its bridge, Contra-Admiral Erich By has a single clear objective: get in, smash a convoy of British merchant ships, and get out. But this hunt, well, it's not going to go the way he thinks. So Act 1, the bait. All of a sudden, the darkness is just shattered. Star shells light up the sky, and By sees the muzzle flashes of British guns on the horizon. Now, he was expecting to find defenseless merchant ships, not heavily armed cruisers. The fight is on, but it is not the one he wanted, not at all. By immediately orders a turn to get out of there, firing back with his massive rear turret, Caesar. But the British gunnery is just deadly accurate. A shell smashes right into the Scharnhorst's main radar array. You have to remember, in an age where radar was basically the new god of naval warfare, the German battleship was suddenly struck completely blind, sailing through a snowstorm with no eyes. With his main sensor gone, By has no choice. He reluctantly aborts the mission and makes a run for home. He's feeling pretty confident in his ship's superior speed, thinking he can just outrun these British cruisers. But what he has no idea about is what's really waiting for him out there in the dark. Act 2, the trap is sprung, and this is where it gets really interesting, right? It's all about the dramatic irony. By thinks he's escaping, he thinks he's getting away clean, but in reality, the British cruisers are deliberately hurting him. They're luring him directly into a much, much larger and perfectly laid trap. See, hidden off to the south, stalking through that same storm, is the main British force, and leading that force is the mighty battleship HMS Duke of York, with the commander-in-chief of the whole home fleet, Admiral Sir Bruce Fraser, personally on the bridge to see this thing through to the end. And this contrast, it just perfectly illustrates the two mindsets at this exact moment. On one side, you've got the hunted Contra-Admiral By, probably feeling a sense of relief, thinking he's racing towards safety. And on the other side, you've got the hunter, Admiral Fraser, who gets the radio signal and knows with this chilling certainty that his enemy is sailing right into his gun. So as the Scharnhorst pops up on the Duke of York's radar screen, Fraser doesn't just open fire. No, he stalks his prey. He lets the distance close from 35,000 yards to 20,000, then all the way down to just 11,000 yards. He calmly, patiently holds his fire, just waiting for that perfect moment to guarantee absolute surprise and total devastation. Act 3, duel in the dark, and now the trap slams shut. Fraser gives the order, star shells once again ignite the sky, and there she is, the Scharnhorst, perfectly illuminated. Then the Duke of York unleashes a full broadside from her 10 massive 14-inch guns. For the crew of the Scharnhorst, the world just erupts. That first salvo is absolutely catastrophic. A single shell punches straight through the forwardmost turret, Anton, and kills everyone inside. Instantly fearing a magazine explosion, the crew floods the second turret, Bruno, as a precaution. So in just a matter of seconds, two of Scharnhorst's 3 main gun turrets are completely out of the fight. By realizes he's trapped. There's no turning back towards the cruisers. His only option now is to turn east and run for his life. The Scharnhorst lists hard as she turns, firing back with her single remaining turret, Caesar, all while taking a relentless pounding from the British battleship. But this duel isn't totally one-sided. An incoming shell from Scharnhorst smacks the Duke of York, and suddenly the British radar goes dead. Without even waiting for orders, a Lieutenant Harold Bates starts climbing the mast, in the middle of a blizzard, mind you, getting blasted by the concussion of his own ship's guns, all to manually push the damaged antenna back into place. It's just an unbelievable act of bravery. And here's the crucial part. While the British are blind, the faster Scharnhorst is steadily pulling away. For a few incredibly tense minutes, it looks like, despite everything, the German battleship might actually slip out of the trap and escape into the darkness. Act 4, One fateful shell. Just as Scharnhorst is right on the verge of getting away, Lieutenant Bates' heroic repair pays off. The Duke of York's radar screen flickers back to life. They have contact. Admiral Fraser has one last chance to stop her. The radio operator calls out that Scharnhorst is at 22,000 yards. That's over 10 nautical miles away. Hitting a moving target from that kind of range in a raging storm at night, it's a nearly impossible shot, but it's the only one they have. Fraser gives the order, correct, and fire. Quickly, the massive guns elevate and fire, and now comes this agonizing wait for 30 eternal seconds. Those huge 14-inch shells are just arcing through the black sky. On the bridge of the Duke of York, all they can do is stare at that little green blip on the radar screen and hope. Then a flash on the horizon. One shell, against all the odds, finds its mark. It punches through Scharnhorst's armor and explodes deep inside boiler room number 1. The damage report comes to Bye's bridge, a severe loss of steam. Speed is down to just 8 knots. It's over, and he knows it. Knowing his ship is doomed, knowing that escape is impossible, Contra-Admiral Bye orders one final transmission to be sent, and it's a message of pure defiance. We will fight to the last shell. Long live Germany. Act 5, the inevitable end. The Scharnhorst's crippled speed is a death sentence. It allows the entire British force, the cruisers, the destroyers, everyone to close in and surround the wounded battleship like a pack of wolves. The final phase of the battle is about to begin. The end is just brutal and systematic. The destroyers dart in, launching waves of torpedoes. One hits, then 4 more hit in quick succession. The ship shudders and lists, taking on tons of water. A final torpedo run at practically point-blank range lands 5 more hits, ripping the hull apart. And yet her crew just keeps fighting. Even as their ship is burning and sinking beneath their feet, the secondary guns are still firing, and that turret Caesar, the very first gun to fire in this whole battle, is the very last one to fall silent, knocked out only at the very end. Standing on a bridge that's leaning heavily to one side, Contra-Admiral Bye finally gives the order to abandon ship. The great warship rolls over, her stern lifting high into the air, propellers still slowly turning as she slides beneath the waves of the Arctic Ocean for the last time. And the human cost of this battle, it's just staggering. From a crew of nearly 2,000, only 36 were pulled alive from that freezing water. Contra-Admiral Bye was not one of them. In the aftermath, Admiral Fraser addressed his officers. He didn't just celebrate the victory, he actually paid tribute to his fallen enemy. And his words, I think, leave us with a really powerful thought on the nature of courage and duty, even in the brutal calculus of war. A final, chivalrous salute to a truly gallant foe. If this story gripped you, so like the video and subscribe to the channel for more like this. Thanks for watching.